Have you ever felt excited about a new goal, so excited that you immediately told everyone? Did you notice what happened after that? Sometimes when we talk too much about what we're going to do, we never actually do it. Let me tell you a story. In a quiet town surrounded by mountains, there lived a young woman named Alina. She was full of ideas. Every month she discovered a new dream. One week she wanted to start a fitness journey. The next week she decided to write a book. After that, she planned to open an online business. Alina loved the feeling of a new beginning. But she had a habit. Before she started anything, she announced it. She posted about it. She told her friends. She imagined people admiring her discipline and ambition. When she said, "Starting tomorrow, I wake up at 5 a.m., her friends commented, "You're so motivated. You inspire me. Wow, you're amazing." Alina felt powerful. She felt like she had already changed her life. But the next morning, the alarm rang at 5 a.m. She turned it off. "I'll start tomorrow," she whispered. And tomorrow never came. The same thing happened with her book. She shared a post, "I'm writing a book. This will change everything." People reacted. They praised her. They believed in her. For a few days, she felt like a real author. But she never wrote more than 2 pages. Months passed. Nothing was finished. Everything was announced. One evening, she visited her grandfather. He was a simple man, quiet, observant, the kind of person who spoke little but understood much. He watched her scrolling through her phone. "You look tired," he said softly. "I'm not tired. I just feel stuck. I have so many dreams, but I never complete them." Her grandfather stood up and walked to the window. "Come here," he said. Outside, there were 2 apple trees. "One of these trees," he said, "I planted in silence. I watered it every day. I protected it from the wind. I told no one about it." "And the other?" she asked. "The other," he smiled gently, "I talked about every day. I told neighbors how big it would grow. I described how sweet the apples would be." Alina looked carefully. One tree was tall, strong, full of fruit. The other was small, thin, barely alive. "What happened?" she asked. Her grandfather looked at her kindly. "When you talk about something too much, your brain feels rewarded. It thinks you've already done it. The praise becomes the prize." Alina felt something shift inside her. "You borrow the joy of success before you earn it," he continued. "And once you feel that joy, your motivation quietly disappears." That night, Alina went home and deleted a draft post she had written. Big news coming soon. Instead, she decided to say nothing. She chose one simple goal: run 3 times a week. No announcements, no posts, no explanations. The first week was hard. The second week was harder. No one clapped for her. No one praised her discipline. But something different happened. She began to respect herself. 1 month later, her body felt stronger. 3 months later, people started noticing. "You look different," her friends said. "Have you been working out?" Alina smiled. "Yes," she said simply. No long speech, no dramatic announcement, just results. Then she began writing again. This time, she told no one. Every night after dinner, she wrote 1 page. Sometimes she was tired. Sometimes she doubted herself. But because she hadn't told the world, there was no pressure to impress anyone. She wasn't performing. She was building. A year later, she held a finished manuscript in her hands. Not an idea, not a plan, a finished book. When she finally shared it, people were surprised. "You never told us you were writing." She smiled. "I wanted to finish it first." And for the first time in her life, the pride she felt was quiet, deep, real. Not borrowed from compliments, earned through effort. Now think about yourself. How many times have you posted your plans and then slowly abandoned them?
How many times have you shared your goals before they were strong enough to survive? Dreams are like small flames. At the beginning, even a little wind can put them out. Silence protects them. Action feeds them. Discipline grows them. You don't need everyone to know your next move. You don't need applause before the work. Let people see the finished tree, not the seed. Next time you feel the urge to announce your big idea, pause. Ask yourself, do I want attention or do I want progress? Because real change is quiet. It happens in early mornings, in late nights, in moments when no one is watching. And when your work is finally ready, you won't need to explain it. It will speak for you.
If this message reached you at the right time, maybe it's because your seed is ready to grow in silence. And when your work is finally ready, you won't need to explain it. It will speak for you. If this message reached you at the right time, maybe it's because your seed is ready to grow in silence. And Alina's seed did grow, not overnight, not magically, but steadily. After finishing her first book, something unexpected happened. She didn't chase attention, she didn't beg for recognition, but people began to notice. At first, it was just her close circle. Then a friend shared her book with someone else. That someone left a thoughtful review. A small blog wrote about her story, then another. Within months, her quiet work began traveling further than her loud announcements ever did. One day, she received an email from a publishing company. They had seen her manuscript online. They were interested. She read the message 3 times. Her hands were shaking. This time, she didn't post about it. She didn't say, "Big things coming soon." She simply replied. She prepared. She improved her draft again. A year later, her book was officially published. She was invited to speak at small events, then larger ones. But what surprised her most was this. People weren't impressed by her promises. They were impressed by her consistency. She became known not as the girl with big plans, but as the woman who finishes what she starts. Soon, doors opened that she never forced. A fitness brand reached out after seeing her discipline. She became an ambassador, not because she announced goals, but because she lived them. A writing workshop invited her to teach. She didn't teach motivation. She taught discipline. She taught silence. She taught execution. Years later, Alina was working as a published author, a speaker on personal growth, a mentor for young creators, and a woman who fully trusted herself. But the biggest success wasn't the money, it wasn't the followers, it wasn't the invitations. It was this. She no longer needed validation to move. She could start something without telling a soul. She could work without applause. She could grow without noise. And because of that, every new door opened naturally. Opportunities followed results. Respect followed consistency. Confidence followed action. Today, when people ask her, "How did you become successful?" she smiles and says, "I stopped talking and I started building." And maybe that's where your next chapter begins too.